Hello everyone, this is Tamás Szuwanski from Eternal Studios, and today we are here to show you a little bit of gameplay. The goal is to give you an idea how the core gameplay loop looks like. But just before that, I would like to take the opportunity to make an introduction of the game, right? So what this game is all about. If I turn the box upside down, you can see that within the game box there are going to be 6 factions and 4 battlefields. By default, this game is designed for 2 players, but there's an optional rule where you can have 4 players, so that's also possible. But at the end of the day, there will be 2 sides on the battlefield, fighting against one another. So the way the game starts, the players and the sides need to agree on a battlefield. So they need to select a battlefield out of the 4 within the box. Then each and every player or group has to select their own faction. So there are 6 factions within the game, and each faction has 4 heroes. So 24 overall. Once the factions are selected, the players can grab the hero sheets for that faction. So as you can see, for example, these are the hero sheets of the Dark Sylphs, or for the Psionic Masters of the Depth. We have 24 oversized hero sheets. So each and every side selects their own, they grab 4 dice, and as a initial step, they are going to take turns to place their heroes one after another on the battlefield. And then the game can start. The faction that has a hero remaining on the battlefield wins the game. As simple as that. And with that said, let's jump into this second section of this video and show you the combat. I would like to start with showing our cheat sheet for the game. You will get multiple of these in the box. A cheat sheet has 2 sides. On one side you have the conditions defined, all the conditions within the game. Very important that one faction and the 4 heroes of any faction doesn't have access to all of these conditions. This is really what you have access, you can encounter within the game. And the definitions. It's important to have it at hand because whenever you are making strategical decisions on the battlefield, it's important that you always have them at hand, so you don't need to memorize them. On the other side, you have the round sequence. What are the steps that you have during the round and during an activation of a hero? So in this hypothetical board state, what we have here? I have the Scions of Entropy fighting against the Wardens of Cosmic Harmony. Each side already activated 3 of their heroes that you can see here turned upside down, and both sides have 1 hero remaining, the Equilibrium Guard and the Prince of the Ruined Worlds. Now what happens here is that the Equilibrium Guard engages in combat against the Prince, who is protecting the long-range mages within his team. Because of this engagement, the Equilibrium Guard already took 1 hit, which is indicated by with this health token, got the vulnerable condition, and also got a positive condition, which is inspired. That's a powerful one, you will see what I mean under that. Let's analyze a little bit more the hero sheets. On the hero sheet, you can see, of course, the hero. You can see how many health the hero has. What is the movement ability? So, for example, in this case, the hero can move 2 hexes in 1 turn. And what is the defensive ability of the hero? Defensive ability, if the hero would get a hit, the hero can roll the dice one dice, and if it is a success, the hit is being blocked. Hopefully you will see this during the round. So I will play out the combat between these two guys. I will start with the prince, and at the start of the activation, as the player, I need to state that I will activate the prince. The prince doesn't have any ability that would start with at the start of activation, so we don't need to resolve anything there. And after that, I will roll the 4 action die. And this is probably the most unique thing in the game, where you roll the 4 dice of yours and you assign the values that you got. So as you can see, I have 1, 4, 4, and 6. This is good, this is not too bad. I unfortunately cannot use the 1, but I can use the 4, 4, and the 6. And what I will do is that I will assign them, and my decision here is that I will do a counter-offensive and spend these dice like this. So I will not cast this special ability. I could have done that, but this is an ability that that is there to support the hero and maybe someone else in the party. Now here I really just would like to stop the offensive of the Equilibrium Guard, and because of that I will make an additional hit, try to make an additional hit against this creature. So once these action die are assigned, I can say that I make a move action. The move action is basically moving hexes if I want. And I maybe want, because I would like to take an offensive stance, so I will just move 1. And after that, I need to resolve the special action. The special action that I paid for reads as this. Its range is close burst 1. The target is all enemies within the burst. And the effect is that each target gets 1 hit, and upon failed defense roll, the target gets also the weakened condition. So in this case, the close range around the prince is this circle. Within that circle, each and every hero gets 1 hit, in this case, the Equilibrium Guard. So the Equilibrium Guard needs to make a defensive roll against a special action. And as you can see, the Equilibrium Guard is weaker against special actions. It is indicated with that little orangish color with a +5. And it also has vulnerable, by the way. And vulnerable, what it does, it increases the defensive ability by 1. Which means that for this attack, I will have to roll a 6 to actually block the special action of the prince. Now I will do that, and it's a 2, so it didn't happen. This means that the Equilibrium Guard gets 1 hit, and also the weakened condition. And what weaken means? Weaken means that special ability difficulties are increased by 1. Which is very interesting in this case, but you will see why. Before that, I will take the base action, which is an auto attack basically, from range 1, so a melee attack. This means that the Equilibrium Guard has to make another defensive roll. In this case, the vulnerable is still on the guard. In this case, it's going to be a 5. Instead of 4, we raise it by 1, it's a 5. So let's see if it can have that. And it can. And it's a 6, which is an interesting one. Because one thing, it means that it doesn't get a hit. And it also means, because of the faction ability, the creature from the creature that took the attack gets a hit instead. This is a faction ability for the Wardens of Cosmic Harmony, and it reads that each time the hero rolls a 6 on a defense roll, its attacker gets 1 hit. And that's what just happened. So now I would have the opportunity to make the move action here as well, but I will not do that because I already did so. So I will have to go and resolve the at the end of activation abilities, and the prince actually has one at the end of activation. At the end of activation, the prince can roll a 1d6, and if it is a 5 or more, it will summon a creature. Let's see. Unfortunately, it's 4, so the creature will not get summoned here. Alright, and that's the end of the activation for the prince. If the prince would have condition tokens at this point, we will need to remove those, and I need to turn the token upside down. Alright, now the other side. I will state that the Equilibrium Guard is going to be activated, and we have a very special thing here because the Equilibrium Guard is weakened and it's also inspired. Now, inspired is difficulties are decreased by 1, while weakened is special ability difficulties are increased by 1. And this is a unique thing in the game, that we have several conditions, but there are pairs that are actually nullifying each other. So we are removing both of them because the result is the same. It simplifies the game, and you can have the opportunity to work with less tokens. So make it complex, yet don't make it too complex for the player. So I believe that's a little neat thing in this game. But still, it will have the vulnerable for the turn. Now, at the beginning of the turn, I determined that the Equilibrium Guard is going to be activated. The Equilibrium Guard doesn't have at the start of activation ability, so I will roll the 4 action die. It's not too good, unfortunately. So it's a 4, 4, 3 and 1. I can't use the 1. And I can use the 4, 4 and 3. So what I will do is that I will do the very same thing here. So I will have 1 special ability and I will have 1 base action. And at this stage I can say that I make the move action, but I will not do that now. I'm going to go ahead and resolve the special ability. And the special ability is range, teleport 3, target self, effect. All enemies within close burst of the area get 1 hit. Upon failed defense roll, target becomes vulnerable. So what happens here is that the Equilibrium Guard can actually teleport, and I will resolve just that. So what I will do is that I will teleport the Equilibrium Guard up to 3 hexes. So let's say here, and in the close burst of the Equilibrium Guard, which is this circle, I have the void guy here, and it will take 1 hit. So for him, this is the guy, Void Wrath. I will roll a defensive roll, which is +5. It is a 6, so it means that the Void Walker blocked this attack of the Equilibrium Guard. But the Equilibrium Guard cannot make a move now, so it will spend its its base attack on the Void Walker as well. So the Void Walker will have to take another defensive roll, but this time it's a 4+. So I will make that roll. It's a 5. So that has been blocked as well, which means that the Equilibrium Guard couldn't make a hit in its turn. Now it can make the move action, and I will do just that because at all times the Equilibrium Guard's motivation was to attack the mages. So next turn I will have the opportunity to do so. And after this I need to resolve at the end of activation abilities, and the Equilibrium Guard's innate ability has just that. At the end of activation, roll a 1d6, and if it is a 5 or 6, the hero, the Equilibrium Guard, will get shielded. That's another positive condition. So it's a 3, so it doesn't get the shield. I remove the dice, and also I remove the vulnerable condition. At the start of the activation of the Equilibrium Guard, I had this vulnerable condition there, so at the end of the activation, I need to remove it. And to finish it, I will turn it upside down. And this was the 2 turns of the Prince and the Equilibrium Guard in this hypothetical board state. And with that, it's the end of our little gameplay demo. Thank you very much for tuning in, and see you around. Bye bye.